Welcome to Factorio Megabase-In-A-Book. My name is Nilaus, and I have a confession to you. I have a problem, and unfortunately, my problem is going to affect you. The problem is that I have a tendency sometimes to make overly complicated solutions. Well, yeah, that's that's a thing, and that's actually what I've been doing. I have been doing an overly complicated solution last time with the solar panels. It worked kind of, but at the end of the episode I was like, I don't feel right about this. And then there was just this one simple comment that went like, what would happen? Why don't you just, or imagine if you'd put solar panels in one and accumulators in the other. And I know that there was a reason why I didn't do that previously when I did some testing, but I mean, at this point, it doesn't make any sense. What I also doesn't make any sense is me saying, and this is a good splitter, except it is not a good splitter if you don't build it correctly though. Oh, my train left without me. Oh, I thought I could catch the train. All right, so that is a few of the things that I want to see. So what I've done here is I've just simply changed it so it goes on separate lines. I'm going to be rushing back because I want to get to that train back here faster than my other train will get there, which of course is not going to be happening. Sorry. What I've also done up here is I made it a lot more simple. This one is also, again, based on the comments. So yes, I read the comments. And maybe if I don't respond to them, but I actually just look at them and go like, of course I should have done that. There we go. These are coming in, and you can see that this is being unloaded quite rapidly. And autosave. This one is not being unloaded because if I look at it, then it has, maybe if I look at this one, that is a very large number. We have certainly unloaded everything from there. That kind of makes me wonder if I did it correctly, because that really shouldn't be the case. Let me run through this. This one is only when, is it actually getting the same number? Yep. It's the other way around, isn't it? When it is less than 0, should be less than 0. How much do we actually have here? We have, yeah, it should be the other way around. Oops. Summon it back here, and then we're gonna pretend that it's gonna work. There we go. You're coming back here. Actually, just let's do this. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? One of the things that we've started to see out here is that now we have a very high consumption rate of basically everything in the base based on the module production and as well as the solar panel production. They are going to consume a lot, and it would be really nice for us to know what we're actually consuming a lot of and what we are not consuming a lot of. So that kind of indicates that we should make a dashboard of some sort. But first we have to make sure that our power supply, oh, here we go. Now that's working. This will unload until this one reaches greater than 0, which it does. This one will then leave if the other one is ready. Okay, cool. And I can now start making it. So I'm going to go to this one. There you go. That's stamping down another few solar panels, and we'll see that they are all going from setting on that side. It's kind of maybe having it only on this side and go there. We'll just, I love seeing this, like you can just slowly see them coming out and doing stuff, and that will just take care of more solar panels. Power was, it was dangerously close last time. Dangerously close. This is our steam turbine still carrying the majority of the weight, but gradually our solar panels will supplement. Let's see. The next thing we want to do here is looking at a dashboard. And how do we make a dashboard? Well, I have a masterclass for it, but even if you watch that masterclass, we're going to do it a bit more advanced today, because didn't I just say that I had a problem with me doing things a bit too complicated compared to what I actually had to do? So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are definitely going to need more lamps for this indication here. We are going to add that one. We also need these noisemakers. Let's see if I can get, I have some noisemakers. I don't even know if I'm producing them. Am I? Nope. Let's just make a little noisemaker central. We don't actually need a lot of those. So maybe I just handcraft, and you won't tell anyone if I handcraft it, right? There. I'll just handcraft it and you won't tell anyone. Where is it? What do you, oh, that's a lot of iron as well. Okay. There. Okay, I'm not handcrafting that. That's just that's one step too far. One step too far. Handcrafting green circuits. So this should be fine. I'll build those, and with that 70 will definitely be enough. Don't care about it. I'm never going to use more than 70. Here, this is starting to work, and this one is... They have 5 seconds of inactivity. That's actually interesting. See now that it restarts because it will start unloading at the same pace here. 5 seconds of inactivity. Oh, it's... Oh, right. One of these has to go to 0. And they're not. There's no point in leaving until one of these have 0 in it. And they're not. They're still 4K and 1.5K. So this is... It'll get stuck here until one of these materials are empty. All right. We will have a bit of a challenge here, because we are going to need to monitor both inputs and outputs. No, supply and demand. It's much better to look at it that way. And let's do a... What I want to monitor is the amount of loads available. So for example, in this case, this one is sending output 1. That means there's 1 load available. There's also 1 light available. Let's see if we have any other ones. This one is sending out 3 because there are 3 loads available. It's actually more than 3, but we'll still leave it at 3. That's the number I want. Also, over on this side, I can see that there's 1 being demanded. That's the demand side. So if I could get the demand supply side and demand side out, this one has a lot. So if I can get the supply side and demand side, let's see if I have anything that has demand side things here. This one might have more on the demand side. No, it's also just to... So I need to monitor the supply and demand. That's going to be the first thing. So let's find a voluntary victim for this. Ah, look at me not getting my train run over by another train. Okay, where are we going to go? We are going to... let's see. What would be like the easiest place? Well, the easiest place to start is definitely going to be with one of the ore processing materials. Yep, let's do that, because that's going to be where we start, and then I'll be working a bit off camera on getting everything once we have like a rhythm or some kind of thing we want. Now, one of the things that I know some people have noticed is that every time I do city blocks, I always include a red and green wire on it. That means I have now a global network of red and green wire that I can now access. So what if I took that one, of course not working, and I would say I'm gonna get from here. This is the supply side. This is what is being supplied. And that will... I'm also gonna put it here. It's kind of annoying that I can't do that. Oh, look at that. Here. This one will take the L, because the L is the generic how much do we have. I will just add nothing to it. I don't know, what is better, multiply by 1 or add 0? What is the faster computation? I do not know. And then it will output it as copper plates, because that's what it is. Then it will output it here, here, and into that one. And I'll put it on the green because it is a supply. I'll take the red one and use it as it is a demand. Yep. This one will kind of be the same, but this one will be ore. So what have I now told the network? On the red signal, I have said that this particular one would like to have 1 more load of copper ore. Now, 1 load of copper ore is of course only half as much as 1 load of copper plates, but I don't care. I don't care about the absolute. I won't care about how many trains are needed. And we should see that once this one goes in and starts unloading, hopefully we will get this one to go. This is at, oh, it's at 52, so it won't even get less than... Is there a problem here? No, 16,000? Why is it? Okay, there we go. Now this one is 0, and you can see now there's no demand in here. We're not demanding anything, but we're still providing one. Maybe this one will actually go down if it goes below 32 just part of this unloading here. If it goes below 32, this one will actually remove. Oh, and now you can see it wants another load inbound here. That's brilliant. Easy, right? Super easy. You could say super easy, barely an inconvenience even. And what I need to do then is just do the same for the other ones. There. Oh, this is such a risky place I'm running. And there. Look at that. Everyone's happy. Now I can then summarize here. I have now 7 loads available, but requesting 3 inbound. If I go like anywhere else, I have this information available. And that's going to be the core part of our setup. I am going to take... I'd really like to be able to do this without these. I think. Yeah, I mean, the reason for my hesitation is I don't want to mess up my build. And then we can go over to the next one, which should be the iron part. That will be here. Should be exactly the same build. Only difference is that it's copper instead. So it should not be copper. It should be here iron ore and iron plates. We're going to do a bit of this just to get a sense of it. Is it connected? Is it getting in? Is this one here? Yes, it is. Now I'm going to copy this one, that one, and go in here, and go in here. That's obviously the easiest part, is making these ones because they're right next to each other. That goes in, and there. Right, and now everywhere we go, we have now an overview of how much iron is being requested, how much iron ore is being requested, how much copper ore is being requested. Same could be and should be set for the steel. So I'm going to, oops. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Why was that actually off by a tiny bit? It just seems like there might be a problem. I can't see a problem. If you see a problem, let me know. Just felt weird that it was doing that. So I'm gonna do this one again, but in case, there, that should be taken out, and then I can go over to the steel build as well. Once I have the iron, copper, and steel, then I have something to start with that I can start for monitoring, and then from there we can I can do some of it off camera as well. But I just want to get this started. It does not. Express underground is in the way. Oh, okay, that one. And this one will now be an incorrect signal, has to be changed to steel, obviously. And I get greens there, and I get reds there. Supply and demand. Now you can see there's a provide some steel, but the iron ore is still going to be the same. I will take this one and stamp it down for the other ones. They will now be part of the blueprints, so I also have to do a massive overhaul of every single blueprint as well to make sure that this gets included here. Now we have some information. We have basically what we can see is that copper might not be doing so well. If we have 8 copper or 8 iron loads demanded, that kind of to me tells me that I don't have enough. And I have 15 of these trains. That's a lot, but they are also just waiting here, for example. Here they really want to go in, and they're just being filled up. And once they are done, this one says destination full. That's just so peculiar, right? Like, how can I have trains, oops. How can I have trains like this that say I have nowhere to go, and at the same time saying that I need 5 of those? Well, the answer is that those 5 loads that would be requested might actually already be en route. This one, the reason why it's so unbalanced here is because if you recall, we started out by having it only to unload half of it, or having half trains here. That's what I started building. So it's unfortunately going to suffer from this until it either runs completely empty or just be like this all the time. It's not that bad. It's pretty close to being done. There we go. So the idea here is, you can see this one says that it would like 1 inbound, but that cannot go out because at this point I do not have enough iron locations that are actually available. So that's another thing we want to see. Let's let me set that up for the iron locations as well, and copper locations, so that we have sort of the from iron ore, both supply and demand, and iron, steel, and copper smelting supply and demand. Not demand though, but supply. Let me do that, and then we can go back to the base and start setting it up with some kind of basic monitoring for this. Now I have set up all of the supply stations, all the mining operations. You can see here we say a lot of copper, 22 loads of copper, some coal, a few stone, and also 7 iron as well. So what I can really see is that it's pretty obvious that iron is being used more than copper. It's just how bases work generally. And you can also see that 21 copper loads available. That is really good, with 3 being requested at any given time. That seems like, well, there's probably 3 trains that are inbound to the stations that are requested. While if I look at it, I have 8 loads being available and 8 trains inbound for the iron. That does not seem like a good balance. Now I have been looking at this overlay and went like, well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron bases. That seems like a lot, except when I went to this one, it just wasn't even plugged in. For some reason, this one was set up but not plugged in. You can also see they're all working at the same rate. Well, almost at least. They were like the same huffing and puffing here. There we go, that one. That's because as I hooked it up, every single one got started. That will be good because now we'll slowly, you can see here, these are only getting in here to provide the first materials in. And finally we got this. And I think that might help. You can see already now it's starting to help, and maybe we'll have something that's coming inbound here. What is really important when you do monitoring is not just doing the monitoring, but also understanding what it is you are monitoring and what you can actually read and understand out from this. What I can definitely read and understand out of this is that this should definitely not be a location with roboports. What should be a location with roboports is this part. Not the top one. This one will be done. And then we'll get started on a lot of landfill on the side. And while that's doing landfill, I can build this part there, because that's the objective. We always want to keep these going. And you know, I can also just make them down here and that one as well. And there should be one more, right? There should be one more, that one. Right. Okay, so there has been like a comment like, why I'm not using all of it at once and just having the whole blueprint. Well, first of all, I could take this one and use that as a blueprint, but I don't really want to. And the reason I don't want it is because I don't want to have all of the solar panels built in this area before we have everything else built. So I think I'll do it in several different steps, and I don't mind doing those steps as it is. I can still continue for a very long time out here, just continue to expand, but I want to sort of basically go expand in both directions and then forget about it. Forget about it. Let's build some stuff down here. I think this is our best location for doing some monitoring, just slightly outside of range. So let me think about how we want to do the monitoring. I want to do 2 types of monitoring. I want to do one that is a supply side monitoring, and I want to do one that is a difference between supply and demand. Let's start by doing the supply side monitoring. I'm going to get one of these, and let's see. I will get the green one in because this will only do supply side monitoring. So we get only the supply side, that is the green stuff. And then I want to sort of group it in a different way. And I will do that by this one. I think I can actually take these out for now, because I don't think I'm going to be building that very intensely. And then I'll be making probably a bit more of this there. So the way I want to build it is I want to build, just like this. You are going to take the amount of iron ore coming in, and you're going to convert it to some kind of parameter. Yes. Right, so I'll have iron, and I'll have copper, I'll have coal, and I will have stone. I should also have uranium, but I don't care. Sorry, I tried, but I did not care. And if we look at this, I can then take it in. Now each of these will output 6, 9, 22, and 9. So what do I want to do with that information? Well, I want to take it out here. Let's see. On this belt. Now I want to light up some of these depending on value. And the way I want it is, this is why I converted it to A, because that's that one. So if A is equal to 0, like there's nothing left, this one is on. If A is greater than or equal to 1, there, then that one will light up. And it'll use colors. The second one here, which is technically the third, will then have 2. And you can see if I go 3, 4, 5, 6, then when there's 22, it doesn't really, or 23, it doesn't really make sense. So what I'm doing is, I'm basically saying this is 1, 2, I'm doubling it every time. 4, 8, 16, and finally, how did I not do this? I am incapable of greater than, I guess. And 32. Very unlikely that it'll be more than 32. This, copy, copy, copy. So now we have a very different view of this. So you can see, even though the difference here between 10 and 21 is vast, then it still means, from my perspective, is 10 is pretty good. And 20 is only slightly better. It's not twice as good, but if it's at the low range, then we have a problem. And you can do it as you wish for whichever way you want it. I think this is a reasonable good way of doing it. Now I'm going to add the colors. There. And the way I want to do this is, if the first one is available, then it'll be lighting up like this. We'll do more copy paste in the later stages. Right. So I know that what you're saying. I know what you're saying is like, what? But couldn't it, if it's up here, couldn't it be all of it being green instead of only being red, yellow here? So it doesn't go yellow and then green, but the whole thing is green. No, because that would mean that each one would have an arithmetic combinator, and I don't know. I don't want that. No, it's actually a decider combinator, and I don't want that. It would be way too many circuits for this thing. This one is fine. If it's only yellow, then we can see it. If it's yellow and there's also some green, it's all good. That's the way I do it. Of course, you can just, if you don't like it this way, you can just do it this way, and then everyone's happy, right? Then it's just green. But you also have to decide for yourself when you think that it should be throwing a warning. And that is the next thing. We want to also be able to set up warnings. So we're going to make there. Warnings. Good. This one. Volume. Nope. Definitely no warning. Global playback. Nope. Show alert. Yes. Show alert means that something will be displayed down here. Then I will say, what is the value of this? When do we want to issue a warning? And I'll just be very, very simple with this. I'll just say when it's 0. Because when it's 0, it's a massive problem. That's when we do an alarm. And then I will do that one. I don't need anything else. When... Oh, actually, this one should be A. When A is equal to 0, that should now go away. This one is not true. Go away. It always takes a bit of time for this one to refresh. There you go. It goes away. A because that's the value that comes in. And then I will display here copper ore. And this one will display coal ore. Coal ore? No, it's not coal ore. And it's definitely not stone ore. There. This is a little monitor that will do things for us. I can expand it pretty easily. How much do we... We'll put it like this. And I can also just expand it down like that. Probably should do that before you set up anything else. There and there. So that is also good. Now I can just simply, very, very simply actually, change these values to something else. Or not change the values, but in this case, I will now start monitoring other things. And there will be a different... Okay, so these... What else do we want sort of having as basic materials? Let's do the greens, reds, and blues. There. Those will be the things that I want to monitor here. The different... yeah, and then I'll have another one with oil products where plastic goes in. See, that was just thinking like, maybe not really. Plastic is a good idea. So let's see, does it work immediately? Yes, it absolutely does. 8, 8, 8, and 9 is what we have. 8, 8, and 9. And of course, these are 0 because, well, they're not there. I will also need to change these, otherwise I just get confused when they actually trigger the warnings here. And that one... Oh, hold on. I think that there's some... Oh, no. I did not know what I did. I panicked. I do this one. And then... Stone bricks. We don't have stone bricks yet, but we definitely will. Because we're going to need that for purple science. That one's good. This one will be green. This one will be red. This one will be blue. And now, of course, as you see here, the alerts are, damn it, why are they not popping up? Show icon on map. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Unfortunately, that's what I'm missing. Unfortunately, that has to be the case. Otherwise, they don't display all of them. Then they'll just display the warning. Watch this when it's done. It'll be much nicer. I knew there was something. I felt that when I set it up, it was like, nah, this is too easy. This is too easy. And it was too easy. Well, that's not what I want. That'll be very confusing. And one misclick and your entire monitoring is just completely incomprehensible. Over on this side, I want to do that as well. I want to do all of it, clean it up before we confirm that it works, which is obviously not how you should do things. And the last one. Cool. So now when I hover here, it'll display whichever one is probably placed last. But hovering here, I can now see, okay, the alerts. I need to, according to the monitoring system, I don't have any blues, greens, reds, or stone bricks. Stone bricks is correct, but the other ones is simply because they're not hooked up. What I then also want to do is I can now do the next one, which will then be oil products. Okay, what would oil products in this case be? That would be like crude oil. I don't even know if I'm monitoring crude oil like this. I really should be, but I don't think I am. And then I want to know if a lubricant is a problem. I want to know if sulfuric acid is a problem. I want to know if sulfur is a problem, because I'm going to need that supplied for the blue science. And I'm going to need to know if plastic is a problem. And then I also would like to know if batteries are a problem, because we know we've had issues with batteries. There. Oh, they're coming in from upstate, I guess. Well, and that one. Now that goes in here, and these also needs to be changed as well. Do we bother doing this? No, we do not. But I want to just give you a sense of it. So let's see. What is also probably a good idea is taking out all of the monitors for stuff that you're definitely not building right now. And that would be like a big thing. So that's going to be one monitor that I'm right now just deleting and putting... maybe I'll put it over here. There. Well, that's brilliant. Then I want a different monitor as well. This is only looking at supply side. And I'm going to clean it up sort of between sessions, and so it doesn't display all of these incorrect things. Unfortunately now this is too close to this area. And now that I think of it, I don't think I want that. I think I want it exactly outside of that area. Yes. That one goes out. And we are probably going to need more stuff. Like lots and lots of... Here, 200. Right, with that being said, the next thing I want to do is actually monitoring the difference. Like, I want to know if there is a surplus or a deficit. So I have to compare the inputs and the outputs. That's really important. And it's a basic one-step thing. And I want to make sure that we have the lights coming in. They're coming in on the way, 177. That's good because I'm going to be building a lot more. In the meantime, I can look at this part. Now that is being there. Now that adds the roboports here. So once the roboport gets in, then it can continue to build. And once the roboports are going in, then we can do the next tier. This one in the meantime is good. Let's have a look at the power at this point. I want to just see if what you're going up to with 2.5 gigawatts is the maximum. We're almost at a point where we have equal demand between the two. That's nice, I think. These are getting in. It will take a while to do this, just gradually. Oh, that's actually interesting. That one should also be up there. Cool. So now that all of this is done, then there'll be a rush towards here. You can see all of that rush is coming in to get any more of this. How much do I actually have? I have 58,000. 58,000. One city block is 10,000. So it sounds like a lot, but this is probably going to be taking, I'd say 40,000. What I can do in the meantime is over on this side. Isn't it amazing? Just stamp, 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 stamp. All right, I got what I needed, and now I can go down here and build this damn thing. There. Everything is red. Of course it's red. Why is it red? Because I don't have that one inbound. So now at least some of it is good. The rest is an indicator of me not having set it up yet. But I'm not done. I want one more monitor thing. I'm going to build it. Yeah, just something like this. Here. This is going to be a bit different. Because the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I collapse both things on top of each other. This one will just go like anything in, anything out. Right, whatever comes in, just send it out again. And that will take the red one, all of the supply, all of the demand side, which I obviously don't have a lot of right now, and all the supply side. Yeah, that's not the same. One of them has to be negative. That is the demand side. This one has to be multiplied by -1 because I have to subtract this, and that will go from here to that one. Yeah, these are now negative numbers, and when I add this, I'll now have the difference between, so this is going to be 19 minus 3. What? Oh, damn it. That's not good. It leaks it back into the network here. Ooh, not good, not good. Not good. That is a problem. It leaks it back into the system, and we don't want those loops. There. What? Why? How can it reach, not reach from there, but it can reach from the other one? You kidding me? What if I do there then? You can reach, and you damn well better be able to reach. Yes, and then inbound. 19, 21 minus 1 minus 2 is 19. This one is minus 3, so I have 13 minus 3, that's 10. Good. Whew, that took a while. Go in here. Now here, this will be slightly different. I will still start with one of these. This one will take, let's say, the copper ore inbound and multiply it by 1 and set it out as a signal A. So far, so good. Then I'm going to do kind of the same, but undo 2 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Then I will do here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16, 32. Definitely not that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what if I do that one? 1 to 16. Yes. All good. And I need to make sure that in this case, the red wire, which is for the colored signal, will go all the way through. And then I get inbound and outbound. Well, that's not working. This one should then be, obviously, is less than or equal to minus 1. Minus 2. Minus 4. Not surprising. Minus 8. Minus 16. And minus 32. And then we need some color. In this case, it's going to be pretty straightforward that anything positive is going to be treated as okay, and anything negative is definitely going to be treated as not great. This will be on the red wire because it's the color. There. All right, now we're going to do a little test. I am going to say, what if I have minus 15? Minus 15 here. Then I'm going to put it in here. This will just be an example, and it does not work. Are you kidding me? 15 was exactly the only number that didn't work. Ha! I was like, no, I broke it, but that's actually not true. I just happened to get exactly turned it to 0. So when it's 0, there's nothing displayed. And this looks much better, right? I mean, there is no question about if that's good or bad. It's bad, by the way, in case you had questions. What are we going to do? We're going to do this exactly the same here. There. Do the connection and do the connection. And the red one on this side. There. I like this a lot. I'm fairly sure that we're never going to be in a position where it has to be that much negative, but yeah. So you can't build it as close as the other one. That would also be weird, but I'll build it like this. And you can go here. I'll take the green one and get it into that one, and I'll just extend it. And we are out of that again. So I'll do all of these. Still not enough. There. And we get more power. Once we build the pattern, it is extremely simple to expand it and set it up for different things. And we'll do some more sort of bells and whistles on this, but it will be basically what I'll be doing now is I will be setting up every single one of the other ones of the supply and demand side, just to make sure that we have that in here. Then what I'll do is every time we build something new, we're going to add it to the dashboard, so that it'll be part of sort of building something new is also to add it to a dashboard, which is like basically a really, really good way of doing development as well. If you add something, you add it to the monitoring and to the automatic testing when you build it, not as a bulk thing you do afterwards, because yeah, we all know how that's going to work. Look at this. Look at me just doing this in bulk. But from now on, if we add a new product, we add it to the dashboard, because that's the way you have to do it. You learn something about development as well. Cool. I think we're going to wrap this one up because that's going to be like a couple of maybe at least an hour or so of behind the scenes. So that was something we can look forward to in the next episode, coming back and just having a look at this. I will also, of course, provide the blueprint for these kind of things. And I think I'll provide it as a city block blueprint because I think that just makes a lot more sense to have it as a city block blueprint here. And it'll also sort of be iterated continuously. So it's one of those that will probably get a few updates. Let's do that, but we will definitely be seeing, let's get this one. These are, of course, not doing anything, but here we can see, as long as there is a pretty big positive here, that's good. This means, and this is part of monitoring as well, what does it actually mean? Here we see that there is a lot more provided than requested. And that's good. That means there should be things waiting to be picked up. If the supply and demand are equal, then there's probably going to be a mismatch because there will always be trains inbound. So we need to make sure there's always a surplus here for everything. This tells the sort of an absolute supply amount. If something has run out, this one will tell us the difference between supply and demand. And I think you can't do one without the other. Because if the supply is very low, but we've run out, then I want to know about it. Like, for example, blue circuits are not working because sulfur has run out. Sulfuric acid has run out. Then I don't want to know about it. I want to know that we don't no longer have 3 loads waiting, we have 0. That's what I want to know, so we can fix it. Instead of waiting until something requests the next blue load and then it's not possible. So I think that's it's good to have both. I think this one might be a bit more useful in general, because it takes the net between the supply and demand. That's gonna be it. If you have found this entertaining, educational, soporific, whatever you find these episodes, as long as you are enjoying it, then my job here is done. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, then maybe hit the like button. If you have some comments about improvements or mistakes or that kind of thing, or things you'd like more detail on, feel free to link it to write a comment below. I do check all of them. I might not be replying to all of them because there's also a lot of other people who will be replying to comments. So thank you also for the people who are replying to other people's comments with, why does he do that? Oh, because XYZ. Then I will like, thank you. Awesome. And of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to follow on more construction builds like this and other things for different games. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.